Hi, welcome to Sue Marie P. My name's Sue and this is Sue Marie P. And now I'm Sue from Sweden. Today I'm going to share a chocolate slice cookie, which is really simple. You probably have all the ingredients in your cupboard. And in Swedish, it's known as chokladsnittar, if I've said that correctly. I'll show you what it looks like. It looks like this. It's a pretty little easy chocolate cookie with some pearl sugar on top. You can make it mild chocolate or chocolatey chocolate. This one I've made mild today. So if you'd like to see how I make chokladsnittar, come with me and let's see. So there's 6 easy steps. Step 1, 30 minutes before you want to bake, remove your butter from the fridge so it's nice and soft. Pop your oven onto 200 degrees if you don't have a fan, 180 if you've got a fan, and I'll pop the Fahrenheit measurement above. And prepare your baking tray. Line it with some paper if you've got a large one, or if you've got a couple of small ones, line all them with paper. And now we need to start mixing the other ingredients. So I like to separate it into 2 bowls. And in this large bowl, I'm going to add my white spelt flour, which I've weighed. That's 2 loose cups or 250 grams. 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. And I'll pop the gram measurement above. I'm going to do a little bit of salt. This is optional. That's about 1/8 of a teaspoon. You can only get vanilla powder here and not vanilla extract. And it's quite strong, so I'm going to do 1/2 teaspoon. If you're using vanilla extract, probably put in 1 teaspoon, but you'd add it later, not just yet. And 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So because they're all dry, I can whisk those up together. Set that to one side. New to this large bowl, I'm going to put the butter. So I've had that softening for about half an hour. That's 100 grams. And I've got just regular white sugar. You can use caster sugar if you've got that. That's 125 grams or 1/2 cup. Now I'm just going to grab my electric beaters and whisk it until it's light and fluffy. Now I've got 1 egg, and I'm just going to crack the egg into the bowl. Give it a little bit of a mix around. If you're using vanilla extract, you can pop it in now because you've got the liquids there. And grab either a wooden spoon or a spatula and just scrape the sides of the bowl and whatever's on the bottom. Sometimes the butter gets stuck. Now grab the dry ingredients and pop them in. And we're going to form our biscuit dough. Now the original Swedish recipe I used, it was quite a large recipe, so I've halved it. It was for about 40 slices. This will make about 20 slices. And I didn't add any water, but I found the biscuits too dry. So if you find, like me, when you're using spelt flour, it becomes like that and it's too dry. So grab some water and a tablespoon. And I'm going to add a tablespoon at a time. So that's still too dry, so I'll add another one. I'm going to add 2 more, so that's 3 tablespoons. But I just eyeball that. Such a quick and easy one. What I'm finding with most of the Swedish recipes, they're really basic. They're nothing fancy. And I've learnt recently that traditionally, when the older generation invited people over for afternoon tea, which is often called Fika, they'd have 7 different types of cookies already prepared. Reverse. It's traditional to serve 7 different types of afternoon tea items. It's usually a fresh cake, a pastry, and often if they're organised, they're in the freezer and they're defrosted, and then probably 5 different types of cookies. So this is one that's often served. And a little tip, if you find that you've put too much water in and you want to just rest the dough for a bit, you can pop it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. So I've got my cookie dough and I'm going to divide it into 2 pieces, and I'm going to use my hands. You can roll it on a floured bench, but I don't really want to get flour all over the cookie dough. If you didn't want to do it this way, you can also roll it into little balls and make round cookies. I'm just going to make like a sausage type mound. So you need to make it about 5 centimetres wide and about 1 centimetre thick. Okay, it's almost the width of the tray. And then I'm going to squish it down with my hand. Okay, I think they're more like 7 centimetres wide, but it doesn't really matter. It's just good not to have them too thick. The first couple of times I made them, they were too thick. I'm just going to squish that one down more. Because they don't actually spread too much in the oven. Okay, next step is we need to add the pearl sugar. If you can't get pearl sugar in your country, you can add some salt flakes. You can do an egg wash now to help them stick, but I'm just going to pop water. I don't want to waste an egg to just let the sugar stick. And I did this the other times and it worked, so I'm going to repeat it. And then just put a generous amount of the sugar. I've got 3 tablespoons in this little jar. And they just look so pretty. And they have a really fun crunch. So the cookies are ready to bake in the oven for 10 to 12 minutes. And they create a soft cookie. If you want a really crunchy cookie, bake them for a little bit longer, about 15 minutes. My oven's nice and hot, so I'm going to bake them now. The cookies are ready to come out. I can smell them, so I'm going to grab them from the oven. So I need to let them rest for about a minute, and then I start cutting them in slices. My minute timer's gone off. I've got my knife here. Just be careful you don't want to scratch your tray, but on a diagonal, just cut slices of about 2 finger wide, just before they cool down, so we've got some diagonal strips. These are really free-form, home-style cookie that it doesn't matter what shape they turn out, they'll still taste good. I'm going to let them cool for about 30 minutes to an hour before I do a taste test. So I'm back with my chocolate slices. I'm not going to try and say the Swedish word again. And I've got a cup of tea, so let's take a little bite. I love the crunchy pearl sugar top. They're a really mild chocolate flavour. Perfect for children, if you don't want anything too chocolatey. If your taste buds prefer darker chocolate, maybe add more cocoa powder, but they're a fun, easy cookie to whip up, so check that out. They're really soft in the middle. These are a more soft cookie. Yeah, I can see why these are being baked for many decades. If you've liked this Swedish cookie recipe today, let me know in the comments below. Give it a go. Let me know if you prefer a mild chocolate taste or a darker chocolate taste. Share it with a friend. Don't forget, if you're new here today, consider subscribing. All you need is a Google account, hit the bell, then get notified when I've got a new video. And stick around because I'll pop a few other Swedish treats up above. If you aren't aware, I've got a website. So all my recipes are linked on my website. And if you look at the description below, you'll see the link for the recipe as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye. I'll go away and finish this.